Oh yeah, John Mansell, exboozehound. Hope you're well. I have a feeling this vlog may be quite self-indulgent, and I'm kinda only really doing it to get shit out of my head. Today I would describe myself as no longer teetering on the edge of a dip. I am right there, and today's a make or break, in a way. I've slept in till about 11:30, which I haven't done for a while. Like I've said in the last 3 vlogs, I found myself sitting on the side of the edge of my chair, staring into space, elbows on knees, head in hands, and ready to go into a deep low phase. In the vlogs I've done over the last few weeks, I think I've mentioned a few times that I've been teetering, and I'm fairly happy with myself that I've managed to avoid the pitfall and going right into the shit. But here's the problem: the energy expended trying not to tip into the abyss has now left me with very little energy to fight. And this is where the demons take their control and get hold of me and win. Temporarily, usually. You know, there is some positivity left in me. Again, I know that today is not a good day. I know I've got to be really careful. And I also know if I do tip over the edge, I'll come back and beat the fuckers, because that's what I do, and that's what we do. You watching this now, if you're watching this now, it's because you're a warrior, it's because you fight, it's because you won't let the illness beat you. And I've been thinking over the last few days, it's strange, it was a couple of weeks ago, and I very rarely check Facebook Messenger, but I checked it and I had a message of somebody who I hadn't spoken for a while, and they said, "Hi, hey John, hope you well. Just checking in to say hello. Thank you for being in my life, and you've helped me. I'll never forget how much you've helped me." And that feels good. It feels good to hear stuff like that. And then the same day or a day after, there was a comment on one of my vlogs about this person had been having a really tough time. She was really frustrated with her family, and she was really struggling, and she remembered my words about it's bullshit to be able to, if you think you can control your issues, anxieties, outbursts, whatever it is, and she remembered that rather than controlling it, she remembered that I said to her before that it's all about managing those issues, and rather than controlling it, because you control. Again, I've said many times, is there anything in this world we ever really control 100%? And I would say no, and definitely not mental health issues, anxiety, depression, all those sort of things. All we can do is manage it, fight, do the right things, pick your battles, and eventually come out the other side. And then there was another comment on Facebook, somebody I've known for a while who has said to me on a number of occasions that I've helped them. She'd put a message about that she was fighting and being a warrior, and I just put a message saying, warriors always keep on fighting, enjoy the good, ride out the bad, and then my normal hashtag, mentally ill, no shame whatsoever. And she came back and said, thank you, and always fighting. And guess what it is that I'm using to keep me calm? And she said that it was my book, The A to Z Guide of Navigating Mental Illness, Addiction and Associated Issues. So within a couple of days, I had 3 individuals telling me that I'd helped them, whether in the past, whether now, or maybe I've given them some tools for the future. And then a week ago, I was doing some dusting. It doesn't happen very often, but I live at my dad's, and I've got I lost my house after the mental breakdown and stuff, and I live at my dad's, and I have a sort of large room upstairs that I call my lounge, and then I have a small room which is my bedroom. And in my lounge, I've got on one sort of tall boy or whatever you call it, I've got a collection of awards that I'd won. I got a Mental Health Star of Dudley from the West Midlands Combined Authority. I got an award where I came in second place to Mary Stevens Hospice from the Dudley Mayor. I've got a Dudley CVS award and an Outstanding Citizens Award, second place. It's nice to tell the story of the Outstanding Citizen Award. I came second place to, I think it was something like an 85-year-old woman who was still out and about, cleaning graffiti and looking after the neighbourhood, and you know, even I was happy to come second to her. I've also got a scrapbook that someone put together for me when I was in a not brilliant place, of lots of comments people have made over the years with regard to how I've helped them and how I've inspired them and all that sort of stuff. I told you yourself in Indulgent, it's coming to the point in a bit. So I've got all this stuff that I can be proud of, and I am proud of deep down. But the overriding emotion I have about all those things is not, wow, look what I've achieved. It's more about I can't achieve them anymore. Have I gone past the point of no return into a situation where I'll never find the strength to be able to do that, all that stuff again? Now, the thing at the moment is, there's a saying in the world of mental illness and addiction and all that sort of stuff, a saying that's useful for everybody, and you've either heard it, and if you haven't heard it, then here it comes. It's okay not to be okay. And I don't think there's ever has been or will ever be another time where that saying, it's okay not to be okay, will be so prevalent, will be so true. I don't think prevalent's the right word. See, COVID is causing a lot of people a lot of strain, a lot of anxiety and a lot of pressure. It was my plan this year to build on what I've done over the last couple of years and get into more schools. And although I know I've had some, again, this is self-indulgent, the schools that I have been into, I've had some amazing feedback from the kids, I've had some amazing feedback from the teachers. Deep down inside at the moment, or I know I've still got a hell of a lot to give. I know there's a hell of a lot more people that I can help with my unique approach. But what COVID's doing and the lockdown is doing is it's taking away that belief. I said to somebody the other day, through the initial lockdown, a lot of us, whether you're mental or mentalist or normal, we created bad habits so we could survive. And then when we came out of lockdown, we had to work hard on breaking those habits that were holding us back. So for example, a lot of you know that part of my routine would be to go into Spoons quite regular and have a couple of drinks and talk to people or whatever, go to the gym or whatever. And initially, even when I was allowed to go back to the gym and I was allowed to go into Spoons, I couldn't do it. I just didn't. It frightened me. And then I put in a lot of effort to break the bad habits and beliefs that I had taken on in the initial lockdown. I worked really hard to get back into a routine. Now I know that's going to sound daft, I worked really hard, but it was hard going, and I'm sure other people would say the same. I've heard people on the news saying I'm not going out until we have a vaccine, and I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, and you can understand why. So it was difficult the first time to break those habits. The problem is now we've put all that effort in to break those habits and get back to whatever we consider as close as normal life. But my guess is there's an awful lot of people out there who haven't managed, in between the first lockdown and the second lockdown, haven't managed to progress at all. They've stepped back, they've gone insular, and they're in a real bad place. So today or tomorrow is the end of the third week of the 4-week lockdown. From what I can see and from the news, it will end on the 2nd December with some caveats and things like that. And here's the next bit. This is the next bit. We don't know whether we're going to get locked down again. So there'll be a lot of people out there who are just not willing to push forward, try and get back to normality. And at the moment, I think I might be one of those people that I'm going to struggle to push forward and try and get on with life, when in the back of my mind and the back of many people's minds, is it inevitable that we end up with another lockdown? What happens then? The energy and strength that we've used to keep moving forward and keep sane during the lockdown periods, is it going to leave us with no energy to keep pushing forward? I don't think I've explained what I was trying to explain very well. But what scares me and what worries me is I believe there's going to be thousands of people who won't have any energy left in themselves to keep pushing forward. It's very difficult to keep pushing forward if you think the rug's going to be pulled from underneath your feet again. And that's always also that's very relevant to people with mental health and addiction issues. You know, I've got this motto, enjoy the good and ride out the bad, that I've got tattooed on me. The premise of that is we always know there's going to be bad times, no matter what you do, whether you do all the right things, eat all the right things, do all the right exercise, do everything right. Eventually, the illness will catch up with you, and inevitably you will fall off the edge again. And in those circumstances, you have to fight, you have to rebuild, and you have to work slowly at rebuilding you to get back to where you can be, to be the best that you can at that particular time. But to be the best that you can at that particular time, for somebody who hates who they are, is fucking difficult. But we have to try. No matter what happens, you have to fight against your illness, your demons, your new worries, your new anxieties, your new negative beliefs. Problem is, again, with mental health issues and mental illness and addiction and stuff like that, your own mind, your own noggin, your own body holds you back for fear of failure. Well, for me anyway. And the strange thing about fear of failure is I've got more failure to fear because, again, self-indulgent, I have achieved a lot and I have helped a lot of people. I've said many times that all my life I've disliked who I am. Whatever I do isn't good enough. But when I was doing those things as ex-boozehound, helping people, getting involved, talking to the people in power, you know, and making them understand more about what real life is with mental illness and addiction issues, I was bloody good at it. And I liked myself at that point. And now I don't have that anymore. deep down, I know it's still there. I know I've got shitloads more to give. I know without a shadow of a doubt that if I can re-find what that was inside me, what that fight was inside me, that I can go on to help a lot more people. But with the situation this year, my first thought over and over again is I just can't do it anymore. And that scares the shit out of me, because if I haven't got that, I haven't got anything. So, as I said right at the start, this vlog has been self-indulgent. At the moment, I don't know whether I'll share it. It's Wednesday today. I'll sleep on it and I'll watch it again tomorrow, and I might bang it up on there, you know, because we're now 3 weeks into the 4-week lockdown. So if it is fucking with your mind, which it is for me, there's not too long to go. But that, I think, in a way, is part of why I'm struggling as much as I am today, because I know in a week's time it's going to be on me to make that effort I need to make to get back to some sort of normality, and I don't know whether I can do it. It's so, it just doesn't make any sense. Deep down, I know I've got a lot to give. Deep down, I know all these people I used to talk to, they can benefit again from talking to me. But it's that fear of not having the strength to do it, based on what my demons are torturing me with. I had no idea I was going to say all this stuff. I think the overriding thing I want to say is it's okay not to be okay. And as I said earlier, that is a really, really powerful saying. If you've not heard it before, where you've been, get it into your psyche, because it is okay to not be okay. And it couldn't be, I don't think there'll ever be a time that it could be truer than what we're going through at the moment. Whether you've got mental health, addiction issues, whether you're mentally ill, whether you formed some anxieties and some stresses over the last 9 months, you've got to know it's okay not to be okay. And if you have formed some stresses and strains and anxieties over the last 9 months, be careful. Don't get Googling symptoms, because inevitably you will be, what I'll be coming back to you will be telling you have a mental illness. That's what happens. And if you're told that, then you can start convincing yourself that that is the case. Just because your mental well-being isn't brilliant at the moment, and whose would be brilliant at the moment, doesn't mean you got a mental illness. You can fight back and get back to some level of normality. I mean, this is nearly 25 minutes now, so I really don't know what I've said. And no matter what stage you're at, you have to remember that every time that you've been here, or worse, you've fought through it, and you've got back, and you will do again. These are tough times for a lot of people. I'll leave it there. Enjoy the good and ride out the bad, and I'll catch you soon. See you later. Bye bye.